Hello guys, welcome to another FU Money Show. Today, the weekly live stream that goes on every Saturday from 4 p.m. to whenever we want to go. So hello to all of you Bitcoin plebs and bulls. And let's see if everything is going fine. Please, someone tell me in the chat if 1080p is working fine and the image and audio are all okay. Just press 1 and send me that one, or if there's any problem, just give me a 0 and we will check it out. So people are still joining today. Let's see who is in the chat today. I'm having a new software for graphics. Shout out to John Barker that was trying to fix some things with me yesterday. As I was going live, I had to cancel the live yesterday because there was a problem with the new graphics software, but now I guess everything is working together. So this was great of him to help me out here. And I also sent him a small list of bugs that we could correct. And I was reporting those bugs. So anyway, I guess everything is working fine today. We have different graphics for the live streams. As you can see, the ticker below is already new. Also, the logo is new, and a few other things are, of course, new too. So let's see if the social tab and the messages are working. So where is it? Here. So we have Marco is on the chat today. Hello, as usual. And we have Firmino too here. Maria is also here today with us, and all good. So the feedback is good. 1080p is working 60 frames per second, and the audio is also good. So thank you guys for that. Let's see. So Bitcoin died again this week. I want to start by that, and let's go and see what is happening. So okay, that's good there. So let's go. So today we have, I will start with this news that was published yesterday. I was supposed to do this yesterday on the live stream, but I guess we will do it today because there was no live stream yesterday. Okay, so we have another news of Bitcoin death. Bitcoin may not last much longer, academics says. It's always an academic, guys. That's funny. And they love to put the university where they work in the background, as this gives them more credibility. But anyway, so key points of this news of yesterday. Asawar Prasad, senior professor of international trade policy at Cornell University, told CNBC's Squawk Box Europe earlier this month, Bitcoin itself may not last that much longer. So this is about 450 or 460 times Bitcoin died this month, but always rises from the ashes again, just like Phoenix. Anyway, Bitcoin is dying several times a day in the mouth of many different people. Bitcoin's price has been highly volatile over the last few years, and in the last month, the price in the last few years, I would say the dollar has been highly volatile since Bitcoin appeared in 2009, but that's only my opinion. Who am I? I'm not a professor at Cornell University. The price of a Bitcoin has fallen from around 58,000 to less than 48,000. Yeah, no shite, Sherlock. That's what Bitcoin does, by the way. If you haven't noticed before, that's what it does. It goes down, it goes up, but in the long term, it always goes up. While there used to be just a few cryptocurrencies, today there are hundreds, and some of them hundreds. This is wrong. So there are thousands, not hundreds. You might want to correct the news, CNBC. And some of them are more useful and more environmentally friendly than Bitcoin. Wow, that's a big lie over there. Okay, you might scrap this out of that piece of news. Anyway, so this is just another joke news by CNBC about Bitcoin, and this guy here, this academic that believes Bitcoin is not going to last much longer. But Let's talk about Bitcoin. Let's see what it's doing. And of course, we have been going down again yesterday, 2 days ago, and now today we have been going up. So that's what markets do, and they use that to make news about Bitcoin going down, which is perfectly normal, but we are used to it already. So let's take a look at the numbers. It's been going down a bit since I starting to prepare to the live stream, because we were around 47,100 and now it's 46,829. This is, of course, let me put in full screen for you guys. This is, of course, the numbers of the last 24 hours traded in spot exchanges. So spot market only, no derivatives here. And the price on spot market is $46,800. That corresponds an increase in price of 0.70%. With a traded volume of 9.9, almost $10 billion. And number 2, Ethereum at 3,936, which corresponds to a plus 2.8% increase in the last 24 hours, with a volume traded of 9 billion point 3. So everything is green today, although we have been correcting a bit, about $300 in Bitcoin since 1 hour ago. That corresponds to this small drop here at the end of the graph. So that's it. These are the numbers for today. By the way, I just wanted to show you guys something which I think it's, you know, completely crazy. So I hadn't yet started the video, the live stream of today, and my video is already limited by YouTube. So I've been having a fight with YouTube this week. I just wanted to show you guys that. So they have been limiting the ads or the monetization of the videos in my channel. I don't really understand why. I want to make it public, and for some reason, if for some reason I get banned because of this, you guys know already what's happening. YouTube is trying to, you know, get me angry. This video was not even started yet. This was only announced as going live soon here on the list, and the monetization of the ads was already limited without even me saying a word. So I did not say a word in this video. This was not even live yet, and that was limited already. So I would like YouTube to explain to me why a video that has no sound, has nothing, is just announced as a live stream starting at 4 p.m. had already been limited by YouTube with no reason whatsoever. That will be an answer for another day, I'm sure, because they don't even answer me about what's happening. So, you know, I don't really care. But in any way, just to announce it also, guys, we are also on Rumble, rumble.com. You can find us there. All the 3 channels, FU Money Podcast, FU Money Portugal, FU Money News. You can find all of the channels on YouTube, also on rumble.com. And we also have the FU Money Portugal channel on Apple Podcasts. Of course, not video, just audio. But if you like to hear the conversations I had on the FU Money Portugal channel, you can listen to it on the go using Apple Podcasts on your devices. So we are trying to get more platforms. So we are trying to get to more platforms because YouTube, I don't like the way YouTube is treating me and the way that they limit my videos even before they even start. So even before I say a word, this is already limited. So I don't like that. I've been trying to talk to them for a long time, but you know, there's no chance because YouTube is YouTube and they don't care about small content creators. If I was Joe Rogan or if I was Mr. Beast, probably they would have answered me properly already, but they keep saying they treat all content creators the same way, but they don't. We small creators don't have a word. So I wanted to make this public today. And anyway, that's it. That's what I wanted to say to you guys. So I have my videos limited at, you know, at start, even without saying a word. And I would like YouTube to justify that action. Anyway, going back to the numbers, but we are now going back to, so this is again increasing already, $46,881. And now we are going to the charts and let's see what's happening because I did not make any videos, any intra-week videos this week. So let's see what's going on. I will change to this, and I will remove the ticker for some time until we at least finish the analysis here. So let's start, and sorry for that intro, but let's start with the total market cap for the weekly. So this is a daily chart. The candles are daily candles. But let's take a look at the total market cap. So we lost around $800 billion in this ABC correction from the 3 trillion that we touched, in exactly $3 trillion there. The circle shows the all-time high for the total market cap. Total market cap, of course, for those of you that don't know, this is the graph of all the coins together, from which Bitcoin represents around 40-something%. And all the rest of the other coins represent the rest, almost 60%. So total market cap had an all-time high in, let me see, 10th of November of this year. This was the highest total market cap ever at exactly 3 trillions, 0.006. Let me just check that number, 009 actually. So 3 trillions, 0.009. Then we had this ABC correction. I had this square, this rectangle here, this plotted rectangle that was in red as the worst case scenario, if you guys remember correctly. And now it's green because I believe that from this we might still have a short-term drop in the total market cap. But however, this will be the point of where I believe we can start to rebound again and reverse this price structure, which is not actually price. This is just total market cap. So it's price of all of them together, but the price reversal to the upside as we are still inside this rectangle on the green. The trend channel, I lost my ability to speak because I was 1 week. I was quiet for a week, not doing any videos since Monday. It seems like I lost the ability to speak now. Okay, so the trend channel, the green zigzag you guys see here, this green zigzag going up and now going back down. This is the bottom of the trend channel. The red zigzag is the top of the trend channel. And you guys know already that usually the price action navigates in between those boundaries. And the gray boxes at the bottom, this is the support context. The gray boxes at the top, resistance context. So usually we never cross above or below these contexts here. And when that happens, which happened for the all-time high, this is overextended already. And the biggest probability is of a correction, which we had an ABC correction to the lowest point. The lowest point was actually here, but this was a very volatile liquidation cascade factor here, event. So in any case, I believe that this will be the usual C point for the ABC correction on Elliott waves. The lowest point so far was around 2.06 trillion, and we are now around 2.2. So we had a small recovery there, and we continue to have accumulation to the right side of the total market cap, which indicates, in fact, if you look at the VPVR, which is the volume by price, we are now at the top of this area of bigger support than this was here. So the more this goes to the left, the bigger the support, because there was more buying and selling action around those levels. And now we are at the top of this biggest area of support. So I believe that this could be the beginning of the reversal. But in any case, let's take a look at the momentum. The momentum is going down. You guys see here. So the yellow line is going down, and the further down this line is, the bigger the probabilities of a reversal to the upside. So we are now going already below halfway. So halfway is around minus, here is halfway, zero. The zero line is around here, and we are now below it. So it's around 3/4 down from the top at 80. And now the momentum is, of course, having more probabilities of reversal to the upside than going down. But it still can go to the minus 80. So We still have to wait some more time to see what happens and how this evolves. But look at that. We had huge control from the bears in this market starting in the 11th of November, just immediately after the all-time high. And only now at around 9th of December or 10th of December, we started to have some control from the bulls. So the bears are these red circles on top, and the bulls are these green circles or spots on the bottom. And every time there is some control by each or both of them, we see the spots here at this momentum indicator. So right now we have only the bulls coming in around the 9th of December, almost 1 month after the bears took control of the price action on the majority of coins, of course, because this is total market cap. And right now we are seeing the bulls coming up and showing up to the party and probably helping to turn this market back up after the ABC correction we had. So I continue to say that this is a corrective wave 4 of the final 5 waves that will take us to the probable top. For now, for the short term or medium term, we will have a top soon. I also changed in the Bitcoin chart. I also changed the cup and handle. I decided that the previous one was not entirely correct, and the new one is much more accurate regarding the properties that define a cup and handle pattern. So I will show it to you just in a few seconds. So that's the overlook for the total market cap for now. We continue to have an ABC correction. You guys know that markets correct in 3 waves, ABC corrections, and trend in 5 waves. So if this continues like that and we reverse here to the upside, this means that this was just another correction, just like the one we had here, ABC correction, and this was a corrective wave 2, and this is still missing the final 5th wave of how markets trend, which would be from here 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, probably taking us to the 3.65 trillion mark of this cup and handle for the total market cap. So let's see how that goes. We are now turning back up. You guys see the context is going up, the trend channel is going down, but we might reverse here soon because the VPVR and all the supports are helping and the bulls are showing up. So this is the sum of what I see here on this chart. Now, let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart, and this is the weekly chart. So every candle is 1 week, and you guys can see how this was perfectly touched by the weekly candle at the bottom of the ascending triangle, and now we reversed the price a bit to the upside. So there is no reason for concern so far, but right now we are very, very close to the bottom of this ascending triangle, which I believe will maintain the price and inside of it, and we could reverse the price action here. All the signs point to that, and then we have another retry at breaking out of this ascending triangle, which could already happen in January or February next year. So right now we have a count of red 5 of 9, so we are now much more extended than I would like to the downside. This is not corresponding to a 1 to 4 candle correction anymore, even if we had an MRI top there, which didn't happen, but with just 2 more candles we could have had an MRI top. So you have to interpret the indicators also. It's not pure math, 1 + 1 is 2. Sometimes you have to give it a bit of understanding that this is not just what the indicator says, but sometimes you have to read it in the context of the chart. And right now, to me, this is not just a 1 to 4 candle correction. This is much more than that. So we had a big correction here. Just we corrected here for the wave 2, corrective wave 2. Now this is a corrective wave 4. And if we don't reverse to the upside, then this will be a problem. Because if we lose this point here, the 40 to 42,000, which was the previous support, the previous swing low on the weekly chart, that means problem to Bitcoin. And that means we could go much lower than this support line around the 40,000, 42,000. So I'm really counting that this triangle will work. We could reverse the price action to the upside here and then see a breakout to new all-time highs just next year already, January, probably February. So let's see how that goes. We are just a few weeks away of February, just 6 weeks away from February. So it's not a long time. It's just 6 candles more. And probably this will occur around that period from the end of January to the beginning of February there. So let's see how that goes. I'm still looking at this pattern on the RSI, by the way. We are now below the 50 period, but also we were below the 50 period here. Just before I go to the RSI, let me just talk a bit about the 50 period SMA. So you guys remember that after this big correction of 56% back in May, we had this accumulation period of several weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 weeks, precisely 2 months before we reversed the price action to the upside. And that happened exactly on top of the 50 period SMA, as I'm going to show you guys here in the zoomed chart. So 8 weeks of consolidation, trying to go to the downside, complete exhaustion of the bears, nothing else to sell. The bulls started to come in and we reversed the price action on top of the 50 period SMA, which is the yellow line on your screens. Right now, we are exactly in the same situation. We are now below the 50 period SMA, but not so extended to the downside from that line. We are just a bit below. We touched the bottom of the ascending triangle, immediately reversed the price action to the upside, and we are now again close to the 50 period SMA, which might indicate that if this works as expected, we might start to see a reversal of the price action coming week. And that will be the most important thing that has to happen, because if we lose the triangle, if we lose the support of the 50 period SMA, and if we lose the previous swing high or swing low, the previous swing low around 40 to 42,000, then this means big trouble to Bitcoin, for Bitcoin. And probably we could see lower levels, probably retesting the $30,000 level, which I would not like to happen anyway. But we still have one last chance here with the 100 period on the weekly chart coming up in a fury. So we might see that in 3 weeks or 4 weeks, probably here 4 weeks. You see the dots. The dots is the prediction of this moving average, and probably 3 weeks and one more, which would be here. This line will be exactly at the same level as this previous swing low, the lowest of the low from the previous all-time high. So this is around $30,000 where we were for 2 months in accumulation, and that 100 period SMA on the weekly chart is getting there. In just 4 weeks, we might be exactly at that level. So I would not like to see Bitcoin going back to 30,000 and retesting this swing low. I would rather prefer this to happen, this scenario where we reverse here at the bottom of the triangle. But who knows what's going to happen? No one knows. My crystal ball is completely broken. I told you guys already, it's not working for a long time. So we don't predict the future here, but we give you the scenarios that are possible for Bitcoin in terms of price. So scenario A, which is the best one, we reverse the price action here, retest the top of the triangle in 1 or 2 months, and then new all-time highs. Or we lose this support, we retest the 40 to 42,000 level, and then we reverse there, which will be the last hill to protect before going back into the triangle and continue the same scenario. Or we lose the 40 to 42,000 support line, and then this is really trouble, really big trouble for Bitcoin. And we might retest again at top of the 100 period SMA on the weekly chart. We could retest the 29,000, 30,000 level of this swing low of July. So there are 2-3 scenarios that you might consider. I continue to believe that the most probable one is that we could reverse the price action exactly where we are right now, but there are always the probabilities of going lower and test the other scenarios. So you guys should prepare yourselves. Scenario A, we reverse here. Scenario B, we retest the 40, 42,000 and reverse at those levels, going back into the triangle. Scenario C, which is the worst one and the one I don't like at all, which we go to 29,000, 30,000 to retest this previous swing low of July. So you guys should prepare for every scenario that I'm describing here and knowing what to do in each one of them, of course. So that's what we do. We help people navigate the charts and prepare for different scenarios. Okay, let's take a look at so this is the weekly chart. I just wanted to point out that this still is in play. This is still in play. So this pattern that I found on the RSI is still in play. We have been replicating almost the same kind of behavior on the RSI. And if the price reverses here to the upside and continues to accumulate for a few more weeks, we might see the exact same pattern we see inside this circle. We might see it happening here. Not a small circle. This is just a circle that I'm waiting to move to the point where the RSI is broken above the 70% line, which might trigger the next parabolic move. But this scenario here, which we might continue to accumulate around these levels on the RSI, might be replicating this one, and we could see a small increase to the upside until the point that we break the 70% line on the RSI, and this might be the signal we need to the start of the next parabolic move. We don't know if there is going to be a parabolic move, but I'm waiting to see if on the weekly chart the RSI replicates that and does exactly what happened here. Starting in October 2020, this parabolic move to the upside to the new all-time high, which was triggered by this pattern on the RSI previously, and then we might see the same thing here. So let's see how that goes. The MACD on the weekly chart, completely bearish, the blue line below the orange line. We have now 3 consecutive weeks of downside below the zero line on the MACD, and the bars continue to increase. But if we see a reversal of the price action soon, we might start to see a light red bar here next week and continuation of the bars reducing to the line, to the zero line, and then probably going back to the bullish momentum on the MACD. The third oscillator is also negative. We are continuing to go down, so I predict that this is not going to change this week or this weekend. We might see a reversal on the weekly chart only next week and see things happening on the oscillators by then. So it's not going to be easy this weekend unless we climb $10,000 until tomorrow. I don't see this reversing soon, as these are laggy indicators for the weekly chart. Okay, let's take a look at the daily. And I'm looking at the chat. Please, guys, if you have any questions, please tell me. Ask them on the chat, and I will, of course, put them here on screen and try to give my best to answer your any doubts you might have. By the way, I'm getting some indication of YouTube that the data rate is low for this kind of stream, so I would ask you if is there any problem with the live stream or not. Do you continue to see it in 1080p in perfect resolution? What about the audio? Is everything going fine? So please just say okay, all is good, or 1 in the chat, and I will continue. Okay, so this is the daily chart. It's much easier to see how the price action got exactly to this triangle that was plotted weeks ago. So here we have the price action, which I wanted to point out for today, and I also want to take a look at this pattern on the last chart. So if, for example, I forget to tell you about the pattern that I want you guys to see on the last chart, I will please ask you to tell me that I forgot something. Don't forget, I want to show you a pattern on the last chart, the bigger outlook for Bitcoin, and I hope I don't forget it. But for now, the daily chart is, look at that. So we had this ascending triangle. The green lines on your screen are exactly the same as this. So this is the ascending triangle, the green lines here on the screen. And when I change it to the daily chart, of course, this gets much bigger. But you guys know this is the bottom of the triangle and this is the top of the triangle. And look at that. We had a breakout of the triangle, MRI top, back down to retest the top of the triangle. We didn't hold the support of the top of the triangle. Another fake out here. And then we started this descending channel from the all-time high at 69,000, and we continue to go down. But look at what's happening after this big drop here that we immediately recovered to get back inside this descending channel here. Sorry. After this big drop here, we recovered more than half of this candle body to the upside, and then we started to consolidate and go sideways, slightly going down, but this, for me, in my book, this is consolidation, sideways consolidation. And now we touched the bottom of the triangle twice. So we touched the bottom of the triangle yesterday with this red candle, and we touched it again today with this now green candle that is trying to reverse the price action. So what signals do I need in the short term? So for the short term, I want this bottom of the triangle to hold all price action from going below it. And notice that we are finally again above the midline of this descending channel, because every time we go up, every time we go down to test the bottom of the channel, and then we try to go up and we don't even cross the midline of the channel, that's a very, very bad sign. So we did not cross it here, big drop just next, and then we retried to get above the midline of the channel. We were able to do it, again a bigger drop, and then we are now navigating above the midline of this channel here, which is a very good indication. Okay, so every time we get above the 50% line of this channel, that's good, and we are now navigating the prices above the 50% line of the channel and above the bottom of the triangle, which might act as a reversal point for the price action on the daily chart. So what am I looking here? I'm looking this to hold, and in the next few days I want to see the price action get out of this channel, breaking above the top of the descending channel. If that happens, that is a very good indicator that we might have achieved the bottom for this big correction from the all-time high. Okay, so I'm looking to see if the triangle holds the price and if we start to go up or even sideways, but starting to go up very, very slightly, and then break out of this descending channel that we have here. If we break out of the descending channel, that is the first sign that we might have achieved the bottom, and we will continue to consolidate here, have a rounding bottom on the daily chart, and possibly reverse the price action to the upside. Okay, so on the short term, that's what I'm looking for. Now, if that doesn't happen and we break the triangle to the downside here and we continue inside the descending channel, we might very well see the 40,000 to 42,000 level of support, and then see if that one holds. But now we are entering dangerous territory. Okay, so the scenario A I described before, one of the first signs that this might be the scenario A is this one holding and breaking out of the descending channel on the daily chart. I hope you guys agree to what I'm saying, or if it makes any sense. Does this look rational to you guys, this sign that I'm just describing? So you can comment, of course, on the chat, and I will address any questions or doubts you may have. Okay, so for the daily chart, that's what I'm looking for. This is now consolidation area. We don't have counts on the daily chart that might say anything. We only had this count to 5, which was on the red, and now we are flipping back and forth into green and red, but never having more than 2 or 3 candles on the same count. So I continue to say this is consolidation area, and we might just see a reversal of the price action at the exact bottom of the triangle, which was, by the way, plotted weeks ago. So this is very, very accurate. The patterns that we see here are very accurate, and we are now trying to reverse exactly on top of this line representing the bottom of the ascending triangle. But if we lose this support, then it's very, very big trouble for Bitcoin. I would not like to see it going back to retest the 40,000, or even the scenario C, which we might see very low probability for now, but we might see a new retest of the 29,000 level where we were in July this year. So far that's it. I see the MACD wanting to reverse to the bullish side. You guys see here that the blue line and the orange line are exactly going sideways in parallel mode. So no line is crossing each other, but The bars indicate that the bears are losing momentum, and we are now getting very, very close to the zero line again, and possibly starting to see a reversal on the price action soon if we don't break the support. So we might start to see some green bars starting to grow from zero here at the MACD on the daily chart. And we are already so low for the lines that this might also indicate a reversal in the short term to retry the top of the descending channel. The other ones don't tell me much. The RSI has been very, very low, but not oversold territory yet. We have been kissing the line to oversold, but we did not cross it yet. We might just see this accumulation period continue for a bit more, a few more days before reversing again to the upside. Of course, the line, my trend line was broken here around the 15th of November. We did not recover anymore, so this trend line now is invalidated, I guess. We are not getting back above so soon, and we might not need it anyway, because this is now so low that even if we go up, we will be already breaking the RSI to overbought territory, so the trend line is now invalidated. I don't see any use of keeping it here, but I will just, for a few more days, keeping it there and see what happens. Okay, so let's see the BitMEX funding rate. Let's see the BitMEX funding rate on the 4-hour, which is much easier to see what's happening. So we have negative funding rate right now, and we also have a bit of leverage in the shorts, which is bigger than the longs. So that is good for the bull case. Look at that, perfect touch. I like to see the 4-hour chart, not because of any, nice understanding of what's happening in the markets, because the 4-hour chart, to me, is just, it's too short of a time frame to understand anything. But in this case, it's so nice to see that the triangle I plotted weeks ago was touched on the 4-hour chart 3 times, actually, 1, 2, and 3. And we've seen a reversal of the price action, which is now trying to get back again, get back to the same level as before. But we touched it 3 times and we continue to the upside. By the way, the fact that we have the BitMEX funding rate in negative territory here, and also the shorts have more leverage, or we have more shorts than longs at the current moment. It's also a good case for the bulls, which means that we might see the price, despite all the pressure to go down, we might see the price continuing to fight sideways here until it finally breaks a bit to the upside. And let's see if we are able to break the top of the descending channel, which is this white line going down here in this diagonal. So let's see how that goes. We would have to break the 2 moving averages on the shorter time frame, and then breaking the descending channel top line before seeing a possible confirmation of this reversal. But I will be looking at the charts closely, and if anything happens, I will, of course, mention that on the Telegram group. By the way, mentioning the Telegram group, don't forget, we are already also on Telegram in many platforms, by the way, rumble.com, Apple Podcasts. So if by any chance I get banned from YouTube, you guys know where to find me. I will continue making the videos on rumble.com, but this is just a plan B, and we will have plan C's and D's and so on. So in any case, I just wanted to give a shout out to all the platforms where you can follow us, and let me put those here. So completely new graphics. I guess you guys are seeing that now. I'm using a new version. That's why, yeah, yesterday I had to cancel the live stream because there was a bug in the software, but now it's working fine. So these are the 2 Twitter accounts you should follow if you want to follow me on Twitter. It's the first one on top is my personal account. The second one, the middle one, is the Twitter account of the channel itself, the FU Money channel on YouTube, Twitter account. The third one is there, t.me/FU Money is the Telegram group where you can also join more than 650 people discussing Bitcoin 24 hours a day and other markets in general also. So if you would like to join us on Telegram, and of course I'm there every time I'm not live streaming or recording a video or sleeping or something like that, you can find me on that group, and you can of course, also talk directly to me. So I will leave the invitation here for everyone to join the Telegram group and interact with us. It's a very funny group, and there's a lot of people there, nice people that will, of course, welcome you. Okay, if you didn't get the links, don't worry, because they are down below in the notes section of the video. So the video description, you can find the links. It's much easier. Even you can just click on them and join the group or see the Twitter accounts. So don't forget, those are the main links that you should follow if you enjoy the content on this channel. And also the rumble.com, you can search channels for FU Money, and you will see the 3 channels there: the FU Money Podcast, FU Money Portugal, FU Money News. We have 3 channels. And by the way, if you didn't know, just subscribe to them here on YouTube too and help us to grow the community. Okay, that's it. Advertisements apart, so let's continue and see what's happening on the charts. And I will just continue here to the Pro Indicators Framework. So the Pro Indicators Framework is a different indicator. This one uses the MRI by Tone Vays. Of course, you are familiar with the numbers if you watch Tone Vays. Let me just go back to the daily chart. I forgot to see the numbers. Yeah, so the numbers here, I actually saw them. There's no meaning in the numbers right now because this is accumulation, and when you have accumulation, you don't have a trend. And if you don't have a trend, the MRI does not help you too much. But in any way, I see your question, Bruno. I just saw it. So let me just finish this here, and we will continue to the next one, and I will address your question. So when we have sideways action, the MRI indicator actually is of no help because we don't have a trend. Markets navigate themselves in 2 ways: trends or sideways accumulation, which means ranging. And when you have a range, the MRI is not so useful. The MRI is very useful if you have a trend which goes from 1 to 9 and then possibly reversal of the price action to the other trend, which is the opposite one. But in this case, this is just accumulation, so the MRI here is of no help. Not so much help, but in any case, we use it anyway. This is the Pro Indicators Framework strategy. So as you guys can see, we have now the trend channel coinciding with the support context and the resistance context. And we are now closer to the support context than we are to the resistance context up there. I will just zoom in a bit. This blue line is what the indicator believed to be the reversal point of the price action correction to the downside. We have actually crossed it now, so it could act as a bit of resistance. But look at that, we retested the trend line that comes from the all-time high to the first range boundary of this ranging. So this was a trend. But of course, we had this descending channel for the corrective wave 2, and I consider that a first range boundary, a second range boundary, a third, and a fourth. And we finally broke above the third range boundary, breaking the trend line from the all-time high at 69 to the first range boundary. We broke it here, we went up, and then we retested this trend line, and we are now trying to retest it again before probably having a reversal to the upside. So everything tells me that we might be very, very close. We might be very close of having a reversal of the price action to the upside. We still have some room inside this ranging channel, this huge ranging channel going to the upside from the beginning of the parabolic move in October 2020 to now. So we are still navigating this channel here, and we still have some room down here, but I would not like to see this red trend line broken to the downside. I would like to see it retested and probably acting as the reversal point to the upside. So we now face this resistance of the VPVR, which we have to break to the upside to at least 50,500 to be free from this resistance and continue to a more easy area of uptrend. Okay, so in this case, I also see the momentum going down here, so the probabilities are increasing for a reversal. The bulls are also showing up again to buy these levels as they did before when we had this big drop that went to 42,850, and the bulls are now showing up again. As you can see here at the momentum indicator, we have 2 lines of bulls. Every time we get to those levels, the bulls show up and start to buy. So that's a good indication that these levels here might be just the point where we have the reversal and not crossing this trend line to the downside, which would be disaster. So we would still have some room to the bottom of this channel, but I would not like to see it. I want to see this trend line, the red one here, acting as a retest and reversal of the price action. So that's the pro indicators for you. Let me just navigate a bit. And before I go to the dollar, let's see what is the question. Sorry, I'm not used to that. Okay, so this is highlighted here. Let's see the question from Bruno. So, do you believe a longer bear market period after the top, like 2 years or so? I believe that we will see less and less big divergence between tops and bottoms during bear markets. So I don't believe we will see any more corrections like 85% like we saw in 2008, 18 and 19 after the all-time high around 20K. Because the more liquidity that comes into this market, the less volatile it becomes. So in my opinion, I will say that we will not see probably any more 85% corrections going into the future, or at least we will see them less and less often. So I don't know if we would have a 2-year bear market, because that's what happened actually after the 20K all-time high in 2017. We had actually 2018 and 19 as a bear market almost. But in any case, I don't see, this is guessing, man. It's really hard. It's a question that it's really hard to answer. I don't like to guess how many years a bear market would be, because we just know that we are in a bear market probably 1 year after getting into one. So bear markets usually take long time, as bull markets take long time to realize that we are already in one. So at least 1 year of bear market would be possible, but I just don't see corrections so big as the ones we had in 2018 and 19. We might see a big correction, like, I don't know, maybe 50-60% would be the same as we had in May, probably, but over time and very slowly and painfully. It could take 1 year to do that. So yeah, that could be the next bear market. I just don't see it happening in just like 2018 and 19, where we corrected actually 85 or 86% from the top. So I don't believe that will happen anymore, but in any case, let's see how that goes. By the way, hi Javiera. Javiera is here today. I hope you see that your name is in blue already. So Javiera was promoted to moderator in this channel, also the Telegram channel. So she's becoming an OG here at the FU Money, and thank you very much for your collaboration with the FU Money channel. Also, Marco is thanking for the great live stream. Thank you also, Marco, for being here all the time. And I know you really enjoy the content here. So thanks goes to you too and everyone watching. And let's see. BTC only goes up after everyone despairs. Exactly. So the price action is now actually trying to get weak hands out of the way, leverage out of the way, so that the spot market can continue to have a healthy and sustainable rise for another uptrend. And that's exactly what I think. And Bruno, no worries. Always here to answer any questions from you guys. In any way, so if you want to ask me any more questions, just please put them here. I will address them as soon as I see them here on the chat. So no worries, you guys feel free to do that, and I will just leave this. Bruno says that Ricardo takes a long time to be in despair. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it takes months. Remember 2018, it took months for people to realize that we were actually in a bear market. No one would believe it until we got to the point where we dropped from 6,000 to 3,000 in just one night. And that was a big crash for Bitcoin. And only then people started to believe, okay, this is a bear market, you know, let's just navigate it, and that's it. Okay, So let's continue, and thank you guys for your questions. If you want to ask any more questions, of course, today is the weekly live stream, so we will take a bit longer, and you guys can ask me anything. But in fact, this is almost an hour already, but in any case, 50 minutes. So we will have at least 10-20 minutes more of live stream. Let me just finish this, and then we can talk a bit if you guys want. So the dollar is now trying to get back above again for the fifth week in a row. The dollar is already overbought on the RSI since the 15th of November, and it continues to try to go up. It's again trying the same levels as 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and still not being able to do so. So let's see how this week ends. I would prefer this to be a red candle, even if this was just a doji or a shooting star, but the dollar is really stubborn and continues to rise. I guess because the other currencies, the other fiat currencies, are just getting weaker and weaker as compared to the dollar, and that's one of the reasons why the dollar keeps going up on the Dixie. But you guys know the big picture already. The super inflation that the United States are experiencing right now, which actually does not correspond to 7% as they try to make us believe, but this is a bit more close to 15% or even 20% overall in real life, not the CPI that they use, because the CPI is just changing the rules of the game in the middle of the game. And if we were still using the CPI from the 1980s, we would have an inflation around 30 to 40%. So that's just BS, you guys know that. It's not 7%, it's much more. Anyway, the dollar continues to rise because this is the comparison from the dollar to other fiat currencies, and the other fiat currencies are also in bad shape. So in this case, the dollar is, it's the lesser of the evils, I guess, compared to the other ones. So that's why it continues to go up a bit. Okay, so gold is doing nothing. So for weeks already, this is just going sideways, doing nothing. Poor Peter Schiff. I guess he has nothing to do in these last few days, but gold is just trying to get above the moving averages, above the cup and handle. So this is the handle of the cup and handle of 10-year cup and handle here that we have on the charts. You guys know this already. So this is the cup of the last 10 years of gold. So if you bought gold here, if you bought gold here around these levels here in November, you were exactly at the same point where you were 10 years ago. So that's what happens when you buy gold. You have to wait like 10-20 years, almost a lifetime, to get some profit in gold. But some people still believe in gold and they continue to buy it. Of course, it's a good hedge against the inflation, but it's not a way to make more money, at least for now, which is going sideways. But let's see if gold can actually break above these moving averages, and after finding support on the top of the channel, or this handle channel, for the second time, it might very well continue to the upside and actually go to the $2,000 per ounce, where we were just in August this year, when Bitcoin also was starting to rise after the reversal of July. So let's see how gold does, and I don't believe that this will be very, very fast because it's like a snail moving. But in any way, let's hope that gold can actually break above the moving averages and continue to the upside. The S&P is correcting, by the way. S&P is again correcting from the all-time high level, which was around $4,725. And the market is now closed because it's a Saturday, but on Monday I will be very curious to see what happens to the S&P, if we actually make this an engulfing candle, or if we reverse the S&P to the upside again on Monday and continue the uptrend. So as you guys know, this for me is one of the best indicators of inflation. The percentage rise from January to December of the S&P is actually very close to real inflation of the currency. So in this case, we had, let's just do an exercise with you guys. I like that. So let's put this in January. Where is it? Here. So this is the first week of the year. Let's put it at the low point. I will use the magnet, and let's put it here at the low point, and let's put it at the all-time high, and we have an inflation of 29.52%. So this for me is the real inflation rate. of the dollar during this year of 2021, because this reflects how much more money you have to put into the market to buy the same stock. And actually there was no growth in those companies or the S&P as a overall market. This represents the real inflation that you are actually feeling in the US and starting to move around the world also in different countries. But this is for me the real inflation rate for the dollar during 2021. And that is 29.5% inflation. So if we actually, and you guys can see like this corresponds exactly to the CPI that was used in the 80s. So if you use the same CPI of the 80s right now, you will see that we actually had 30 to 40% increase of inflation since those periods till now. And this is just, in fact, on the S&P, this corresponds to the real inflation, in my opinion, because if you were to pay $1,000 for a stock in January and now you have to pay $1,300, those $300 you have to pay more for the same stock of a company that probably didn't have such growth of 30% in 1 year, which is not real. Then that $300 is the inflation on the dollar that you suffered during this entire year. So that's my theory on inflation, that the S&P actually is much better at measuring the real inflation than the CPI used by the Fed. But that's my theory. If you like it, you can think about it and you can use it for yourself, but you're not obliged to follow it, as this is my theory. Okay, so the S&P, let's see how that goes for the opening on Monday. If this becomes an engulfing candle and we have an extension A to sell, so if this becomes an engulfing candle, that's bad news for the S&P. We might start to see a correction in the markets. If this reverses from this point to the upside, we might continue to see a trend in the inflation rate, as I like to call it. And then we finally get to the last chart. And guys, I hope I didn't forget it. No, I didn't. I wanted to show you guys this, the pattern that I want to show you guys. It's very, very simple. So for now, we are still navigating above the support context. That's wrong. Above the support levels. These green rectangles you guys see here. Let me zoom in a bit. So we are still above the support level that actually reversed this big drop to the upside again. And we are now trying to do exactly the same that we did just a few months ago. I want to show you guys this. So look at this pattern. I will do something different. I will remove the squares. Sorry for that. It will take some time. And I will remove also the Fib retracement here. I will just leave the trend line, which is now broken. So, by the way, before I show you the patterns, let me tell you, as I said before, this is the first signal that something might not be very, very good with Bitcoin, because we are now navigating the price action below the trend line that was never broken since March 2020, when the C word happened to be, published by all the media around the world. We were never below this trend line until now. So this is my first signal that something might not be working so good for Bitcoin right now as it should. So let's see how that goes into the future. I still believe we can recover from here, but if we continue to navigate below this line, then we might be just being warned for the first time that something might be wrong. But I still believe that we have the opportunity to go back up, reverse the price action as I described before on those charts you guys saw, and now we are just navigating below this. But let's see where we close the week, at least closer to the trend line. That would be my guess. But the pattern I wanted to show you guys, it's this. It's as simple as this. So let's make it from the top, from the all-time high, so that we have exactly the same. And this is the pattern I want you guys to see. And now I'm going to copy this square and move it to the same point. Oops, not that. Where I want you guys to see something. So I want you guys to consider this. Look how close this pattern is. From the all-time high, ABC correction, from the all-time high, ABC correction. Then we have an accumulation phase which gradually and slowly goes to the downside. And now we have an accumulation sideways that gradually is going to the downside. So this is a fractal that I wanted you guys to see. And you can tell me if I'm getting crazy or if I'm seeing things. But to me, this is a fractal of this. Okay, this is the same as this. So I believe, I'm not Martin Luther King, but I believe that we might be seeing exactly the same kind of pattern, corrective pattern, and accumulation, Wyckoff accumulation that we saw here. We might be seeing it here. All-time high, ABC correction, big drop to the downside, fast recovery to half size of that drop, fast recovery to half size of that drop, sideways accumulation, trying to break out several times, then a new low. We might just see a new low that we saw. Actually, we saw the new low here. So this is the new low, this point here, which was just yesterday. And continuation of this accumulation. Again, recovery to the upside and final excess to the downside before a V-shaped kind recovery to the upside and continuation of the trend. So now you guys tell me if this looks nuts, or if I have some, or if I spotted some, you know, very, very similar pattern that we had here, we could be having here. So if that is true, if this is true, we might be very close to find the bottom, which could be even lower than this. We could even go to the $44,000. Very, very close lows to the tip of that big volatile candle there. And this means that we could even go lower to 44, 43, probably finding support around 42, and then reverse to the upside in a V-shaped recovery mode, probably replicating this square as a very, very similar pattern, smaller than this one, but still very, very similar than this, very similar to this one here. So this is the pattern I wanted to show you guys. This is a very good way to end my analysis for the week. And if you have any questions, of course, now is the time. You can, of course, ask them. So feel free to ask me anything from the analysis of today, and I will be very, very happy to answer you guys. I just forgot to show you something. I always forget this. Usually after all the analysis, I look at the chart and I see something. So look at this. This is the daily MACD. We are so lower, much lower than the previous point of the corrective wave 2, which was this one here. And when we went from 50 to 40,000, the correction that you guys remember, of course, this was in September, and this corresponds exactly to this corrective wave 2, where we had this ABC correction, accumulation and reversal. So this point corresponds to the end point of the corrective wave 2, and now we have a much lower point for the corrective wave 4, which is actually a bigger correction than this one, and we are below the trend line. Don't forget, I'm showing you all the signs that something might be wrong. I'm also showing you the signs that something might be really close to happening, and that might be a reversal of the price action to the upside and going with plan A. Okay, so we have scenario A, B, and C. The A, just to sum it up, is reversal at this point inside this square, reversal to the upside in something like a V-shaped recovery, just like we had here in July. Plan B is we go lower, retest around 44, probably 42. We find a new low point before the V-shaped recovery. So that's plan B, which is some kind of A, but just a bit more with lower prices than we have now. And then we have plan C, is that if we break the supports right here and we break the $40,000 to $42,000 support, we might go and see again the 29,000 that correspond to this previous swing low here of July. So that's plan C. I don't like it. It shows a big difference from the trend line already. This might be the other scenario that I described before, also from, I guess it was Data Dash that I saw it on his channel, that this might be a huge accumulation area, which I can show you guys, by the way, something like that. Okay, it might be, right? It might be this big accumulation also from the bear market of 2019, when we started to accumulate all this period inside this horizontal channel before actually breaking out of this channel exactly on October 2020 before the parabolic move. And now we might be seeing another accumulation area that might take us again back to 29,000 before we actually go for the next parabolic move. So I guess the markets will be changing a lot if this happens, because this is not usual in Bitcoin. But this might be the C scenario that no one wants, but there's still a small probability of happening. Okay, so that's it. I just finished my analysis. So guys, if you want to ask me anything, feel free to do that. I will just leave this like that, because I still don't have a confirmation, but I believe I'm going to be at the Hard Fork Cafe tonight. So I will leave this here. Probably I will mention it again in Portuguese if you want to follow the Hard Fork Cafe, of course. It will be very nice to see you guys there. And I will just leave this chart like that. Okay, so let's see. Let's see who wants to... let's see if you guys want to ask me anything, or if this was enough already of analysis for the week. I know I didn't make a lot of videos this week. I didn't do the Monday, Wednesday, and Friday interweek videos. I was trying to solve some things here, technical stuff with the new software. And also I was a bit tired also. So I can tell you guys that on Wednesday I was a bit lazy to do the video. But anyway, I had the FU Money Portugal video on Monday evening, which now is taking a break and will come back next year. So we will not have an FU Money Portugal live conversation next Monday, but you should expect something really nice to happen in January. So we are already taking care of that and making all the plans so that that might happen in 2-3 weeks time. Let's see. I will tell you guys when this will happen, but we are programming something together, me and the Hard Fork guys, Hard Fork Cafe guys. Let's see. Just, you know, for now, let's just make it a rumor, but you might see something really interesting happening in January. Okay. And that said, let's see who wants to ask me any questions. I guess you guys don't have anything. So if you don't, then we might wrap up here. I don't see any questions actually. I would just like someone to test something with me. I'm trying to, because this new software, I believe it can actually use different words for mentions, not just the ones that YouTube wants me to use. So let's see, where is that? Settings, and I believe I can... Let's see if I can do it. Can someone please... Can someone please send a message with @Hugo with capital H, or even without a capital H? I would like to test it with you guys. So can you please write something on the chat starting with @Hugo with capital H and then lower cap H. I would like to see if this gets mentioned here on the... See. I guess I would have to restart the software, but it's not. Yep. So YouTube is not mentioning it to me. The problem is here on the chat of the software, it's also not listing that as a mention. So that's weird. Probably I would have to restart the software because this is done at the start of the software and not during this live stream. But I will try to do it later on the next stream, not today. I will just leave it like that and let's see what happens. Okay, the test did not work as I expected. No worries. So if you guys don't have, yeah, I saw it, Ricardo. You are, you are a nice guy. Okay, and Alexandre too. Thank you for the test, Alexandre. But this did not work as I expected. So everything just got mentioned when I removed the name of the channel from the software. Okay, so test is not working as I expected. So any questions you guys wanna send, shoot at me, or anything else you would like to say? Let's just take a look at the numbers right now. We continue exactly at the same level. We continue exactly at the same level as we were when I started the stream. Yeah, Bitcoin is now just a bit red, I guess, as compared to the rest. But we are still at the almost exactly the same numbers, $46,820. Yeah, and Ethereum continues to go down too. It was around 2% and now it's 1.4. So yeah, the numbers continue almost the same. Merry Christmas to you all, and I hope you guys enjoyed this stream today. So I see there are no more questions, and thank you if you really enjoyed what I was analyzing this week. Let me just for the last final time show you guys here where you guys can follow. So there you guys can follow me personally on Twitter by using the first link. The second one, you can follow the channel's Twitter account. The third one, you can join the Telegram group where we have more than 650 people already 24 hours a day discussing Bitcoin and the markets in general. You will be very welcome if you join the Telegram group also. And don't forget, we are also on Rumble. I forgot to put a ticker, but now it's there's no point actually. So we are also on rumble.com, and you can also listen to the FU Money Portugal if you understand the Portuguese language. You can also listen to the conversations I had so far, 6 of them on the FU Money Portugal channel on Apple Podcasts. So we have a lot of platforms now where you can follow us, rumble.com, Apple Podcasts, Twitter, Telegram, YouTube, you name it. There's a lot of them, so just support the channel. If you enjoyed the content today, of course, leave it a like, a thumbs up. If you didn't like the content today, leave a thumbs down, but at least leave us a comment and explain why. What would you like to see here on the channel? And also, if you didn't subscribe yet, also subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I go live or I upload a video. And now, since we don't have any more questions, I will leave you guys with the words of wisdom before we actually wrap up. Oh, I'm still on. Okay, the Zoom was not completely off. Okay, I will leave you guys now with the words of wisdom, and here they are before we wrap up for today. And don't forget, if you want to see me again today in Portuguese, you can follow the Heart for Cafe channel. I guess I will be there tonight. And now the words of wisdom.
All right, let's roll. Hey, let's be careful out there.
Exactly, guys. Let's be really careful out there. Let's roll and let's be really careful out there in the markets. And thank you all for joining me today for the live stream, the weekly live stream of Saturday afternoon. And I hope to see you all if you speak Portuguese in the Heart for Cafe tonight. If not, next week we will have, again, some interweek videos for the analysis of Bitcoin and see how everything is going. And until then, I see you on the next one. Bye-bye.